what's going on out there on the interwebs. My name's Murdog. This is Mr. Don Clark, a.k.a. AP, a.k.a. Antoine, a.k.a. Anthony.
Hello.
And we're not Midwestern, but we're here for Gabagalooza, episode number 15. We're about to get it done today.
You want to see two dudes on one mic? Well, you got it.
Oh, you got it right now. You about to see it right here tonight, and you about to see it good.
We're Gabagalooza, and welcome back on this glorious Monday. You know, we are into June, my friend.
We are into
and
June.
all of you.
Isn't this like our second month in?
I believe this is our third
month doing this. Right?
We started in March.
We started in February. 4 months.
Holy moly.
We've been here except for 1 or 2 Mondays.
Yes.
That is 4 months straight. So, minus 2 Mondays. I'm not talking to you. We have been here virtually every Monday.
Yeah.
For 4 months straight.
I mean, it's kind of been like one of the highlights of my week, you know.
It really is.
Like for every week. Just because, I mean, I love talking with you.
Oh, same.
And I love talking sports. Mm-hmm. And why not have a little bit of fun with it too, right?
Right?
So, hey, we're here. Let's jump right into it, right? You know, the NBA Finals have been going on for 2 games now. Just about 5 days in total. Mm. You want to guess what the series is? It's tied 1 apiece after last night's game 2. And honestly,
bets went down the drain last night.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I came close, but Michael Porter Jr. really kind of screwed me over in the end. But he also wasn't playing. Mm-hmm. So, is what it is. But game 1, you know, Denver came away with it kind of like it was nobody's business. I mean, they were up big. Miami made a little bit of a comeback, you know, late in the game, but eventually Denver was just able to close it out and secure game 1 in a 104-93 victory. And then last night's game was much closer. The Heat won 111-108. Now, you know, when we talk about this game, the Miami Heat stars, and honestly, I'm going to say, you know, one of their spot guys is really performed last night. You know, you had Timothy Butler.
Timothy Butler.
You know, he had 21 points. Bam Adebayo, same, 21 points. And, I mean, he had 9 rebounds. I mean, what else can you ask for? And, honestly, Gabe Vincent, their point guard, really stepped up. He had 23 points and led the team last night. I mean, honestly, crazy. You know? And let's look at, you know, the Nuggets here. Jokic, I mean, the Joker scored 41 points. 41 stinking points. Jamal Murray was really, really cold at the start and through basically the third quarter. In the fourth quarter, he made 3 3-point shots. I mean, you know, that was a little helpful in making a small comeback towards the end of the fourth quarter, but Michael Porter Jr. underperforming 5 points. You know, he did have 6 rebounds. Aaron Gordon, only 12 points. I mean, 7 rebounds, 2 assists. You know, and Caldwell Pope only had 6 points. You know, that's just, it's not. You had 3 guys on the bench. You want to know how much they scored on the bench? 26 points. 26 points. 3 guys. I'm telling you. Jokic, 41 points, and not being able to win that game really has to hurt Denver. It really gotta hurt. because, in my opinion, I really thought that Denver was going to kind of wipe the floor with them in Denver.
Yeah, I know, and looking at the rest of the team, like in Michael Porter Jr., like he just didn't put up any points whatsoever, and he was out there when they gave up points too.
Yes,
his plus minus was a minus 15.
I know
that was the worst all night. And I mean, you can look at the Joker, and he had a minus 11, but at least he put 41 points up there.
I mean,
same thing with Caldwell Pope. He only had 6 points, and he was out there for a 15.
He had a minus 14 difference. It's crazy.
Like, I look at that.
What's insane, right, is that everybody on their bench had a plus.
Yeah, everyone on the bench had a plus. I mean, Bruce Brown and Jeff Green both had double-digit pluses, 12 and 14.
Your star, now given, I wouldn't say that Caldwell Pope or Michael Porter Jr. are their stars. Jamal Murray and Jokic are their stars, right? And Murray really just didn't perform well until the last few minutes of the game. And it was really hurting. I would say for probably about a half of the game, it literally felt like it was Jokic and Miami Heat playing against each other. Literally, that felt like what it was.
That's basically what it was. Like this Nuggets team really needs to just be able to rally around each other, like how they had been throughout this whole playoffs. But
absolutely,
they just didn't show that last night. And yeah, they were able to put up 108, but just they couldn't keep it up.
I know.
Or the Joker couldn't keep it up. You know what I mean? That's realistic here.
I mean, it was really back and forth, once the second quarter started. But it's
always like that in the NBA, though. Like, really, the first half doesn't mean shit.
I mean, quite literally.
Like, you can go first half and absolutely just dominate, and then you'll choke in the second half. Like, you just run out of gas.
So, I mean, with a big 10-point win, a 10-point differential in the win in Game 1, and a 3-point differential in Game 2 with Miami coming on the side of the victory, what are your predictions for Game 3 on Wednesday?
I mean, I still think Denver can, absolutely take Game 3, because, just for the fact that, they were able to dominate in Game 1, but still technically come out close, but obviously just choke at the end there.
Yeah.
I personally just don't see them being out just yet. And Miami, and listen, Miami's there for a reason. Yeah, you look at them, one's 8 seed, one's 1 seed, but they're there for a reason. It doesn't matter anymore. They're both the two best teams in the league at this moment in time.
Yeah.
So it can really go both ways. But I wouldn't count Nuggets out just yet. Too early in the series, and too close of a loss, too close of a game for it to be like, ugh, they may not have it.
Yeah.
So I think,
honestly, I kind of think that you're absolutely right about Miami's there for a reason. There's obviously they're there for a reason. They won last night against the best team in the West. Come on. I mean, that's what the conference finals is for.
They're able to take a lead and keep it against the best team in the freaking country. Basically. So,
I don't... Let's say this. I don't really foresee too big of a differential in how both teams played.
Yeah, no.
I will say that people like Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray, really got to step it up, all game. Or at least longer than a 5-minute span in the game.
If Porter Jr. and Murray just step it up and, play defense.
It'll take a little less points from Jokic, but I mean, he's going to get those in assists.
And let's face it, you're going to get more points just for the fact you're getting two people back on the court.
Absolutely.
With Jokic. So I don't really see Denver crashing and burning tonight. Or whenever they play.
Wednesday.
They play Wednesday, yeah.
I am going to say that I do think Denver comes back and wins. I think that they're going to kind of wake up a little bit. I think they're probably going to end up splitting in Miami as well.
I can see that too.
I think Miami's going to at least get one in Miami. You think Miami?
For
Wednesday?
Denver.
Denver?
I think Denver's going to take game 3.
We're both on Denver. All right. Well, hey, that's what we got for the NBA this week. But the fight for Lord Stanley is coming to a close. It's unfortunate.
It is unfortunate. And we have our 2 finalists, as we had already talked about in our last show. At the time,
Vegas.
Florida was in. Vegas and Dallas were still playing.
Yep.
And that night, Vegas took that game handedly. They absolutely just said, hey, thank you. And gave Dallas no chance.
I mean, quite literally from, I would say, the 3-minute mark in the game, like into the game.
Yeah, from literally the 17...
fans were silent. Mm-hmm. There was no hope at all. Because they had scored, I believe they had scored 2 in the first 3 minutes. Mm-hmm. And then in the first 5, I think they scored another goal.
Yeah.
So, like,
it was 3-0 at the end of 1. So, and then, they just ran away. They scored 3 more goals.
I know.
Just absolutely destroyed
They literally
Dallas.
took the life out of Dallas. Uh-huh. Quite literally. And honestly, game 1, kind of not surprised.
Yeah, me neither. I mean, I figured that, Vegas has been low-key good, but, seeing them in these playoffs, they've been really good.
They have.
And, just comparing them to Florida, though, Florida never really the biggest goal-scoring team compared to Vegas, because they got goal scorers. And, with Marchessault being just absolutely hot this entire playoffs, it really, really helps them out, with the goal-scoring, just throughout the playoffs in general. And,
Absolutely.
I mean, same thing with Mark Stone, absolutely just, coming through, too. It's really fun to watch them play. And same thing with, obviously, the same thing with Florida, just because of the fact that they're almost like the Cinderella team.
In all reality, I think that they are.
No one thought they would even go past Boston. Everyone thought they were going to get swept by Boston.
Yeah.
Now they're in the Stanley Cup. It's like what friggin' Steve Dangles
And they swept Carolina.
They swept Carolina.
They beat Boston.
They beat Boston in 7, and then just 1-5 against Toronto, 1-4 against Carolina.
I mean, it was kind of easy. After Boston, it was kind of just easy work.
It was almost like a cakewalk for them.
For real.
Losing 1 game out of the
9.
9. It's crazy. It's absolutely insane.
I will say, though, I expect Florida to win the next game.
Mm-hmm.
I do think that they're going to kind of come back and get on that same high horse as they have been in the last couple games, but I think the little bit of a break that they had a little bit longer of a rest period than Golden Knights, and the Golden Knights kind of just whooped the shit out of Dallas. So I mean, they were already on the momentum.
Going into the third period, it was a game, but
absolutely.
But during the second intermission, they said something or ate something and scored 3 and didn't give up anymore.
Yeah. I mean, it was quite literally from that point on. It was just nobody else's game but the Vegas Knights. And honestly, I expect Florida to be able to step up, but I don't know, man. More I am rooting for Florida almost as the Cinderella underdog in this, but man, it is going to be tough to beat this team in 7.
Yeah, no, for me personally though, I'm low-key rooting for Vegas more than Florida. I just think Vegas is really cool, and
they are.
The fact that they've only been in the league for very, very few years.
5, I believe.
Yeah, and it's just, I don't know, I feel like it would be really cool to bring a cup to Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
For their sake, because they have a great team, they have a great fan base, and it's just, and not saying that Florida doesn't have a good fan base or a good team.
Yeah,
they do,
no.
but I don't know, I'm just favoring Vegas. I don't know what it is. I just like them. Now, if Florida wins, I'm not gonna be mad. I'll be happy for them.
I mean,
because one of these teams are gonna win their first cup for the first time ever. None of these teams have ever won a cup.
Absolutely.
Florida has been to one but lost.
Yes.
So like it's
So is the Golden Knights, I believe.
and the same thing.
They went to
they
their
both
one in
have
their
had a
inaugural
conference
season,
final
right?
championship, but they both have lost in their cup runs respectively.
Yes.
So this is their second appearance. Obviously for the Panthers, first time since '96. So like you kind of look at the two and you're like, damn, it's.
I know. I mean, honestly, I'm really neutral about this. I kind of love the underdog story in all sports, right? And especially if the team that I would root for, which would be either the Islanders or the Rangers at this point. But I'm really neutral, but I'd be okay if either team won, man. I mean, good on them. I mean, honestly, if I'm gonna actually like root for a team because I like one of them, I love the Vegas Knights presentation. Pre-game
Right?
presentation is sick.
I mean, watch
Okay?
that for game 2. I mean, they already had it for game 1.
I mean, look, game 2 tonight, right? We're gonna watch the beginning and get that sweet presentation that they do. What are your predictions?
I think so. I kind of heard your prediction first. You kind of already put it down that you think Florida's going to wake up and take this one. You think that? I don't think so. I think Vegas is going to take game 2 as well.
Okay.
And I think it will probably be around the same score. Probably like a 4-2 win for Vegas. In my opinion. Because, it's different with Florida because, like the furthest they had traveled was to Toronto, and that's a pretty far travel from Florida and they're back. But, going from Florida to Vegas and playing on their turf and how it's so hard to play in that arena.
Yeah.
And they've only been there once all year. I just, during the regular season, I personally just don't think Florida can win game 2. I don't know. I think Vegas is going to take it. This is going to be one of those series where, in Florida's case, where they're going to lose the first 2 games. And so I got the Golden Knights tonight.
Okay. I would definitely say that I could definitely see that happening. I do kind of agree with, a semi-close game. I do think, though, Panthers are going to have to score in order to win. So I'm kind of expecting a 4-3 win.
Mm-hmm.
I would expect some type of game like that because you're not going to be able to hold the Golden Knights under 2. You're just not going to be able to.
Nope.
So, hey, stay tuned for tonight. I believe it is at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time for a Game 2 showdown in Vegas.
In Vegas.
In Vegas.
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 Yes.
Well, as we move on, the MLB this past weekend celebrated ALS. And they were bringing awareness because 83 years ago, Lou Gehrig had passed away from ALS. And those who do not know, I'm going to have to actually read this because this first word is a little tricky. For those who do not know, ALS stands for amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. Those who are diagnosed with ALS normally are given 2 to 5 years to live. It is a very, very powerful, it is very, very powerful. It unfortunately has a 100% mortality rate, but we want to bring awareness to it as well. So, for our slices of goodness this week, they will be for ALS, and we will be giving the awareness for that. But let's get some actual MLB news other than the coverage. There really isn't any.
There really isn't any.
There
isn't a whole lot to talk about. Not really a whole lot has happened this week. Although, I'll get into it, even though we had it at the bottom of the list. It was something that I thought of very quick because I had just gotten an update during today, and it happened today or either last night.
Absolutely.
Actually, it might have been last night.
It came out last night, but I
Yeah.
believe that actual sources confirmed
They confirmed
today.
it this afternoon while we were kind of like
Yes.
formulating what we were going to do today. And that is Tomas Nido has been DFA'd from the New York Mets. He is no longer, or is going to be no longer, a tenured New York Mets as our backup catcher / starter catcher, even though he had been starting for us a pretty damn lot in the past couple of seasons, particularly with James McCann not turning out what the Mets wanted him to be.
Yeah.
And Narvaez just not being healthy. And then Nito had, do some,
Hey,
rehab as well. But they brought back up Alvarez,
which you talked about last week.
which we talked about last week, and he is still killing it.
He is literally killing it.
He's still doing pretty good, but then it's like, okay, well, what are we going to do when Narvaez comes back? Are we getting rid of Nito, or are we sending down Alvarez again? Are we using up another option from him?
I know. It was I would say definitely probably a little bit difficult of a decision for them to make because he has started for them for the last couple seasons.
Yeah, and he hasn't done terrible. He's not the worst catcher in the league, and he had helped out the Mets, especially last year, with James McCann being hurt and not performing at all, and starting in the playoffs, when we were there. Just just helping out and defensively too. He's a good defensive catcher, but you got to keep the youngin. You got to keep Alvarez. He's going to be it. He's going to be the next best catcher. So it's like
absolutely.
You got to do what you got to do, and Narvaez is just better than Nito.
Okay, so I will say he will be definitely the next best Met catcher. I definitely think that Adley Rutschman will be the best catcher.
Adley Rutschman will be the best catcher, especially the fact that he's a switch hitter.
Yeah.
And how good he is at the plate and how good he is defensively as well.
Yeah.
Thing about Alvarez is that defensively, he still has a lot of training to do. Has a lot more learning to do.
I wouldn't say that he's bad.
He's not bad.
I wouldn't say he's bad, but I mean, he definitely needs some work. He's got a strong arm, so I mean, he could definitely throw out people.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I would almost kind of like to characterize him and like give him a comparison to old Gary Sanchez, like prime Gary Sanchez, because he wasn't the greatest defensively. He had a really strong arm, but he could hit.
I would say though he is probably slightly better than prime Gary Sanchez behind the plate, just because he can, he can at least frame.
I would
Sanchez
agree.
could not frame, and he still can frame.
I would agree.
So
yes.
But we had to do something. Tomas Nido was it.
Yeah.
He had no more room on this team, so hopefully a team picks him up because he's a good catcher.
Yes.
Like a team where they need
somebody in a pickle behind the plate.
Yeah, pickle behind the plate, or even to like fill in behind the plate and start on a certain team that doesn't have any catching whatsoever.
I mean,
he could be a good
Athletics.
starter. Athletics maybe that could be a good pickup for him, but I'm pretty sure he'll ask for too much money, and they'll be like, no. Or too much money. It probably won't be that much, but the A's, probably just won't even do it.
Yeah. But, I mean, hey, some other news from over the weekend, the Yankees went out to the West Coast. They played the Dodgers. And they ended up winning the series 2-1. They got whooped the first game, but came back, got 2 strong wins after that. And unfortunately, the Mets stayed in New York, and the Toronto Blue Jays kind of just took the series.
Yeah, they just took it. Not necessarily mollywopped us, but we just weren't
not by
there.
a long shot.
We just didn't show up. Offensively, we just didn't show up. Pitching
Yeah.
was kind of there. I mean, we gave up like 6 runs yesterday, so it's not.
Yeah.
It's still not great, and we just can't just get back in the game. We can slowly inch our way, but that's it.
Yeah.
We stop, and that's exactly what happened
difficult,
yesterday.
Which is extremely difficult
It's
to come back from.
extremely difficult, and yesterday's matchup was a little bit disappointing with Kikuchi against Senga. You got 2 very good Japanese pitchers pitching against each other in a series, and Kikuchi just was there, except he couldn't, for some reason, get out Tommy Pham because he gave up 2 home runs to Tommy Pham. All solo home runs, because that's all the Mets do is hit solo home runs. We can never hit when anybody's on base, or hit the ball out of the park when anybody's on base. Yeah, we can hit the ball and score in one, but that's it. We'll leave them all stranded. And, God, can we just hit a multi-run home run, man? Can we do that? We don't. We hit solo home runs all the time. Even that Met game that I went to back against Cleveland, were all solo home runs.
Yeah.
It was literally just like, all right, beginning of an inning, here's Nimmo, gone. Oh, cool. Oh, okay, here's Marte, beginning of an inning, oh, gone. Oh, okay, can we do more? No, we can't do more, but at least we won that game. At least, at the time, Scherzer was being Scherzer, and he's kind of come back to be Scherzer, which is good.
Yes.
Really helped us out. So, we need to be better with runners in scoring position because we're not. Yeah. We need to come up big.
Preach.
And we haven't been doing that.
Preach.
Haven't been doing that.
Preach. But hey, let's get into our weekly MLB segment. Let's get into some slice of goodness.
A slice of goodness.
Like his hat.
Ah.
Yes. I mean, honestly, can you? I want you to honestly explain the hat to people in the audience.
Explain the hat to the audience
because I love it.
It's great. So if you're from the New York area, or at least the, kind of like a mid-New York area, mid-southern New York area, one big staple, food-wise, is the cider donut. And if you don't know what a cider donut is, and you're living under a rock, I never understood why anybody outside New York don't know what cider donuts are. They're amazing. It's literally apple spice cinnamon donuts, and they're great. Now, what the hell is this hat that has a cider donut on it that I'm wearing? That's green and orange. So, you know how, I talked about with my brother's teams that he has played for in this Giants organizations?
Yes.
San Jose Giants, all minor league teams have their, alter ego look, their secondary looks, that are a different team name in general. Totally different team name. Like the Giants, the San Jose Giants, they're just San Jose Churros.
The Churros.
I'm pretty sure I've worn a Churros hat on this show.
You have,
once
yes.
Before. So that's that. And so for the Hudson Valley Renegades, a team that I work for currently, they have implemented their own alter ego look. And now they are, on certain nights of the year, the Hudson Valley Cider Donuts.
Yeah! I really need to get me one of them.
And this is the look.
I really need to get me one of them.
It's
that
amazing.
Is fire. That is fire. Okay, folks? That is literally fire.
It is such a good freaking hat.
And I love that, what it's holding, it literally says it's an apple with an HV for Hudson Valley.
Uh-huh.
I love it. I literally love it.
It signifies, apple cider, the actual drink, and the actual cider donut holding an apple that has baseball stitches
honestly,
on it.
That's just such a
and
cool
then the
hat.
green and burnt orange looks so nice.
It kind of does.
It looks so. I love this color combo. I love it.
I love the green. So I mean,
and it was so hard for me not to tell everybody that before they unveiled it last year that this was the look and what they were going to be, because I saw the prototype at the beginning of the season last year, and I was told to not tell anybody. Yeah. I was like, you can't tell anybody. And I'm like, okay. And it was so hard for me not to, and then finally they unveiled it, and they finally started wearing their these uniforms and the name on Friday night, or Saturday night, I think it was.
Okay.
For the first time. So, and they won. they got their asses handed to them. I worked this entire week down there. They lost the first 4 in a row, and then finally Saturday they woke up and won by 1 run, and then woke up even more yesterday and scored 9. And you know what could be a slice of another honorary slice of goodness is your prospect Drew Thorpe. He pitched 8 innings, gave up 1 hit and 1 walk. He could have easily threw a 1-hitter if they just kept him in. But that's it. He gave up 1 hit, 1 walk. That is it. Struck out 8 or 9.
Yeah.
He did great. And he honestly had a low pitch count. I'm surprised they didn't keep him in.
Yeah, it really wasn't that high.
But, it was a great start. So, honorary slice of goodness tonight from me is Drew Thorpe, prospect for the New York Yankees. Good pitcher. Very good pitcher.
Hey, I mean, you got off with your honorary. Why don't you start us off with your first slice of goodness, my friend?
Well, I can, and it's another pitcher, this time in the MLB. It's not going to be a minor league baseball, as we don't normally do with the slices of goodness. But in his season debut, he came back up to the majors for the Cleveland Guardians. Is Tristan McKenzie, their top prospect pitcher.
and he did great. He was lights out in his first start. He only pitched 5 innings, but in those 5 innings, he struck out 10. And
Which is great.
Great. No runs. He gave up 1 hit, 1 walk, struck out 10 and 5.
Like, that's nuts.
It's nuts. A very good start for him, and he's a very good pitcher. I mean,
Absolutely.
I expect nothing but good things from him this season, throughout the rest of the season, up in
Agreed.
the MLB. And he did this against Minnesota. So, like,
Which
obviously,
is a good team.
Yeah, and obviously pitch count was probably the issue with him only going 5 innings because those numbers were just outstanding.
Yeah.
For a start with 10 strikeouts and only giving up 1 hit and 1 walk.
Yep.
I just thought that was really awesome. Not a lot of people do that on their debuts back as a pitcher.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I would love to say that that is a good slice of goodness, and it was. So congratulations, Tristan McKenzie. You are my first slice of goodness today. And AP,
Well,
what's your slice of goodness?
my first slice of goodness comes from the recent Yankees opponent over the weekend. The Los Angeles Dodgers. Their right fielder, Mookie Betts. Thank God he's not in Boston anymore. Hey! But, hey, he has been fantastic over the last week, right? He has a 300 average in 30 at-bats, 9 hits, 6 runs, 4 home runs, 5 RBIs, 3 walks, and only 3 strikeouts. And he's even got a stolen base. But he also has a 700 slugging percentage in that time. So, that's really good. I mean, over the season, I would say his home run numbers are, great. He has 15 on the season. His average, I would say, needs to, be up to where Mookie usually is, because he's sitting around 257 right now, and he's a career average 291 hitter. So, I mean, if he can at least get to 275, I would say that prime candidate right there.
Mm-hmm.
Prime candidate for NL MVP.
Yeah, he got off to a slow start this season, and so did the Dodgers in general.
Yes.
But they've been really picking it up recently. Obviously, only winning 1 out of 3 against the Yankees.
Yep.
But still, that's good for Mookie Betts and what he's done in his last few games.
Absolutely.
And that's very, very, very good. You want him to be able to help rally the team.
Yeah.
Because he's such a good ball player.
I mean, Freddie Freeman's been on fire this year, and I'm sure that we're going to end up talking about him.
Oh, yeah. He's been the face of the Dodgers
because
up to this point.
I mean, he's just so good.
Mm-hmm.
And, eventually we're going to end up talking about him here if we haven't already. But, I mean, Mookie's the other guy on that team.
It's fitting because you're happy that Mookie ain't on Boston anymore. I'm happy Freddie Freeman ain't Brave anymore.
Hey, you damn right.
I'm happy he ain't in Atlanta anymore.
You damn right.
Oh, man.
Who is McKenzie? Christian McKenzie. He's a pitcher for the Cleveland Guardians.
Yes, sir. And yeah, like my family actually got to meet him at what's it called? An agency party, because my brother's agent is also Tristan McKenzie's agent.
Oh, wow, okay.
So, they're, they know each other. Same thing with Cedric Mullins.
Oh, wow,
Cedric Mullins'
okay.
agent is my brother's agent.
Sweet.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of guys who are
Shout out Cedric.
employed in the MLB with the same agent as my brother.
That won't be the last time you hear Cedric today.
Cedric.
What? Well, that's my first slice of goodness for the week. My second will be coming soon after you getting your last slice of goodness for the week.
My last slice of goodness of the week is another good one who has been having a great season in general, and that is the Texas Rangers shortstop, Corey Seager. I mean, I'm looking at the numbers here. I can literally just tell you what he's done in the regular season, and that's it. I mean, a 349 hitter. Coming into today, a 405 on base and an OPS over 1,000. 6 home runs and 29 runs batted in and 106 at-bats. fantastic, and he got his 900th hit yesterday in his career.
Oh, nice.
That was pretty cool. So he's 100 away from 1,000, which he could do this season.
Absolutely.
He can absolutely do the season. He has 37 on the season. He can absolutely hit over 137. So I'm going to guess he's going to accomplish that goal this season.
I would like to agree.
And I'm going to give him an early congratulations to Corey Seager, unless, knock on wood, he's out for the season.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. The poor Texas Rangers, as the Texas Rangers, DeGrom, 60-day IL.
Yeah, he finally was put on the 60-day IL. A few weeks ago, he had an injury back against the Yankees, as a matter of fact. He went 3 innings into the 4th inning. He threw one pitch and was just like, my elbow. Or my forearm. He said my forearm. And what people usually, think of when, or at least, medical professionals think of whenever a professional athlete or especially a baseball player goes, my forearm is tight or is hurting, it's elbow. Elbow
Tommy John.
means Tommy John. And unfortunately,
he's already had it.
he's already had Tommy John surgery, DeGrom. So if he gets a second time, he may not be DeGrom ever again. So it's just...
He ain't going to be DeGrom.
Yeah.
I literally think that Verlander is like the only guy to do it twice and actually come back from it like strong.
Mm-hmm. Like, it's just unheard of to think
It
that
is.
somebody would come back
Twice
of Tommy John to be able to perform as well as Verlander did.
But hey, back to his teammate.
But yeah, back to his teammate and Corey Seager. I can give you the rundown of what he's done in the last few games, especially in the last 7 games. He's been hitting .387 with an on-base percentage of .407, slugging of .710, 2 home runs and 11 runs batted in. He's only struck out 3 times in that span. In the last 15 games, he's driven in 24 runs and a .359 batting average, slugging over .700. Still a monster season of a monster player. I mean, what else could you say? In his last 2 games against Seattle, 5 hits in 8 at-bats.
Yeah.
I mean, that is just fantastic. He has hit a home run. He hit one yesterday, and he has driven in 6 total runs in his last 3 games. And has struck out only once.
Well, hey, that's a pretty good slice of goodness.
It's a very good slice of goodness. And that is my last one of the night, as I have already talked about my first one of Tristan McKenzie.
Yes.
And my second one, and last one, of Corey Seager. AP!
Well,
Who is your last slice of goodness?
my last slice of goodness is the Bronx Bombers' primary left fielder.
Primary.
I'm going to say primary left fielder because I would like to say that we are going to have Stanton spot play and we're going to try and have Judge on the DL. Or not on the DL, on the DH. I'm sorry. But Jake Bauers. And honestly, for the season, in 63 at-bats, he's only had a .238 average, 15 total hits, 10 runs, 5 total home runs, and 11 RBIs. But the last 7 games, I'm going to read you these, and keep in mind his total stat line. In the last 7 games, he's had 18 at-bats. He's batting .389. He has 7 hits, 4 runs, 3 home runs, 7 RBIs, and he's drawn 4 walks. 478 OBP, and a 1,000 slugging percentage. Insane.
Yeah, that's a good sign for...
He picked it up big time.
I mean, considering what he has done throughout his career and having a span like this is really, really good for him. I mean, 7 for his last 18.
Absolutely.
And 3 of those have been over the fence.
2 of them were in the same game.
Like, it's a very good sign for the Yankees and their outfield, because now they can actually fill in that spot that Aaron Hicks had left.
Yes.
And it was greatly needed.
Oh, yeah.
So...
And he's been pretty good defensively, too.
And, like, even though you said that, like, you think that, like, Judge would end up being on the DL, really Stanton will just be on the DL, and you can keep Judge in right field and not have to worry about putting Stanton out in the
Stanton
outfield.
has returned to the team, and so has Josh Donaldson. I expect Donaldson to get playing time, but it's going to be tough because DJ LeMahieu is still a great third baseman, and Glaber's been really good this year at second base, and you're not moving Volpe. And you're not taking LeMahieu to first because you have Rizzo, who's been on fire.
I will say, though, that Volpe has been struggling.
He's been picking it up as of late, but still not the greatest. Defensively, he's been fantastic. I mean, but, hitting-wise, still needs some practice, still needs to get it up a little bit. And, I mean, I believe his average is just over 230.
No, it's not. It's in the under the Mendoza line. He's batting a buck
Really?
93.
He's batting $193.
And his last 7 games, he's 4 for his last 24.
Which really isn't the greatest.
7 for his last 54.
I mean, hey, maybe.
We were talking about it very briefly at work a few days ago. The PA announcer for the Renegades, a good buddy of mine, Rob, he was talking to me, and he was looking for Volpe stats as he was looking through the game that they were playing against the Dodgers, and he was like, man, he's hitting under 200, man. They might have to call him back down.
It's possible.
To have him just, tear it up in AAA for a little while and maybe save him up for the end of the season.
I'll look this up real quick, but, I mean, Oswaldo Peraza, I mean, really isn't bad. So, I mean, I wonder if they send Volpe down for a bit and possibly bring Peraza back up. Because, I mean, his average still this year in 32 at-bats he's batting 188, which still isn't great. But maybe you just try and give it to him. Get a little competition and see how it goes. I mean, in the minors this year, he's batting 324. So he hasn't been bad. Maybe you bring him up, give Volpe a little break, send him down a little bit, let him get his his eyes adjusted at the plate, let him hit. But hey, Jake Bauers has been on fire the last week, and I hope it honestly continues because that spot really needs to be filled. Really needs to be filled, especially with Bader on the IL.
Absolutely.
But those were our slices of goodness for the week. Thank you for listening to our weekly sports talk. Yay! But let's get on to the good stuff.
The goods. AP, what's the goods?
Well, I'll tell you this. It ain't slice of good. It ain't nothing close to that. It's these. You see these?
What are those?
These are this week's Ashley's outrageously random questions.
Yeah! That's yours.
Yeah. Gotta reorganize these and put these back on my desk. Yeah, as we get to our favorite part of our weekly podcast
show.
Ashley's outrageously random questions. For those who are new and haven't witnessed this before, or for those who have just need a little bit of a refresher, this is a segment where my wife writes some questions for us, and we read them to ourselves and to you, and we expect some answers from ourselves, but also from you guys. But then there's a little twist. We read 10 to ourselves, but then there's this right here. And this is for you. Yeah, that's right, folks. I don't think you saw that, but it's for you.
It's for you.
It says YOU on it. And that means it's primarily for you to answer. So we expect some answers in chat. Let's get them drum rolls going. As I will start off this week, as I believe you did last week.
Yes, I did.
Question number 1. What is whiffing in Rocket League?
Oh, man.
For those who don't know, Rocket League is a game where you control a car, and it's basically cars like this size.
It's car soccer.
It's car soccer. Literally, in the giant net's a giant ball. right?
The giant net,
You
giant
could
ball,
fly.
and little cars.
And you could fly.
And you have rocket boost. You literally have like a implanted jetpack.
So
rocket boost.
Basically, whiffing is just you plan to go to the ball, and you have a complete strategy on how you want to hit it and how you're gonna hit it, and you try to implement it, and you miss completely.
It's literally just you try to go hit the ball and you miss it. You whiff.
Is a whiff. It could be considered the same thing in baseball too.
Yeah.
When you swing and
When you
miss.
swing and miss. It's
It's a whiff.
basically a play on like the sound that
Yes.
you would make when swinging and missing something and not hitting it. It just like you just totally missed
Yep.
it. And same thing in Rocket League. You totally missed the ball.
Yeah.
So
Amen to that.
that's what that means.
Amen to that.
Amen to that.
Question number 2.
What is a tattoo that you want and where?
Okay, so I have an entire folder in my photos, which I will gladly pull up for us to kind of just base on a reference. So, the tattoo that I have been debating on getting for, I would say, the longest time, but I'm scared to, is from Naruto, right? It is a Sharingan. It is a Mangekyu Sharingan of Itachi, and I love it. I have 2 of them. I kind of want to put Itachi's eye into the second one, but here's the first one. I'll go ahead and show you first.
Oh, on a hand though.
Exactly. So there's the twist. It's on the hand. Let's see.
Yeah, you can see it.
So that's what I've kind of thought, but that I really want in this.
Damn.
And I think that's sick.
Yeah.
But that is Sasuke's Mangekyu Sharingan. And I don't like sake. I don't like Sasuke. So, yeah, but I mean, I've definitely always thought about getting, like, a Mangekyu Sharingan tattoo, because I really, really enjoy it. But, I have kind of got some other tattoo ideas. What about yourself?
So like I've never really like ever thought so much about getting a tattoo ever, because like I just never really like, I don't know, like I don't want to say I never cared for it, because that's kind of like a lack of a better term, but like I just never really like thought of it. And like I don't know, I guess like too, like if I ever were to get them, I wouldn't know where though. Maybe on like my back, or like on like my arm or something. One would, and I've always thought about this as like the number 1 tattoo, because I always thought it was kind of cool, like the Murphy family crest, maybe like on my arm or like my back, because it's nice looking. It has like a lion on it too, which is really cool, and it's got like a nice like shape to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I always, then like the colors are really nice too. They're like nice and red. So like I thought about that. Another one that I thought would be really cool would be like a cherry blossom. Like some kind of like maybe like a branch or something, because there's actually a guy I played with on my baseball team who actually got a cherry blossom like branch, like a couple of branches on his chest.
That's awesome.
And it looked very, very nice.
That's awesome.
I was like, damn, you know what, that would be a really cool tattoo to get, or maybe even like a bonsai tree, because I've always I always thought like like Japanese like trees in general are just so pretty. They're very zen. So, yeah, like, either the Murphy's family crest, cherry blossom, or a bonsai tree would be pretty cool to get, in my opinion.
I have a lot of, like, tattoo ideas, but one I've kind of wanted to get, but I don't know what, exactly what. I want to get a tattoo, like, for my family, almost like a family tree, or I thought about in the past, getting a heart tattoo, like an actual heart, but have my family members' names wrapping around it, and having it kind of just loop in on itself. So I could eventually put my kids and, things like that. But I really want to get something that, for my sisters as well. But I mean, I have a ton of anime tattoo ideas.
I know you do.
I have
I know
a ton of
you do.
anime tattoo ideas. For those who don't know, I already have an anime tattoo on my thigh, and it's representing my buddies from overseas, our favorite anime characters, and given mine is on my leg, as well, representing my buddy, but I chose a different one.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey,
Good question.
that is a good question. I'm gonna go with this one. Question number 3. What is the most ridiculous rumor you have heard about yourself?
About myself. Have there been any rumors about me that I don't know about?
That's what I'm trying to think about.
Yeah, like, damn.
I mean, the only one that I can think of is that I was in my very first real relationship with Taylor. Somehow, I don't know if it was her or not, but a rumor was started that I was a complete asshole and I ruined the relationship. And in all reality, I just kind of grew out of it, and she slept with one of my good friends, 3 days before we ended up broken up. So, I guess that would be the only one I could actually think of.
Yeah, there was one weird, I don't know, there was this spur of school fights going around when I was in my grade. I forget what grade. It might have been freshman year, and apparently there was a rumor that I was going around and videotaping the fights and keeping them, and so I guess officials were they heard rumors that apparently I videotaped them when I never did. I was and they called me in. They're like, "Hey, we've heard complaints that you have been recording without people's consent," and I'm like, "What?" And they're like, "Yeah, they're we," and I'm like, "For what?" And they're like, "Well, there have been some fights going around, and you can't be taking videos of people fighting, especially without the school's consent or whatever, because it's it's against the rules, it's illegal." I'm like, "Okay, I never did that." And they're like, "Let us see your phone." I'm like, "Okay." And so they look through my fucking photo gallery, they see nothing, and they're like, "Oh, okay, here you go, have a nice day." I'm like, okay.
I mean, there's always the rumors, especially that in high school, that Matt Murphy's such a pussy.
Yeah, right. They'd be this
He's
stupid.
such a pussy.
Yeah, right.
And
I'll always remember after that happened, I literally just started talking. The principal just started talking about football to me. We just started talking about football.
That's funny.
I always remember that. He was just like, "Oh, okay. You a football fan?" Yeah. He's like, "I know you're a sports guy, but I figure, are you a sports fan?" I'm like, "Yeah." You football? Yeah, sure. Let's talk about football.
Yeah, actually, I'm a Green Bay Packer fan. I mean,
yeah.
What?
I'm like, okay, this is happening. I'm like, "Hey, listen, I'm not in class right now. I'll take it."
Jeez.
So, very weird rumor that went around, and a very weird experience that had happened. Very odd.
Oh man, that's a good question though. I mean, honestly, but
I do remember though there was a lot of fights around.
Oh
that time.
yeah,
there was a ton of fights.
Oh yeah.
I only saw one of them though.
I saw.
I didn't record it. I was shocked. It was a cat fight.
I do have a fight on my phone.
You do?
Still. I have a Jake Freno fight.
Oh god.
Yeah, and he took it. I think it was either Taekwondo or karate.
There were fight rumors that I heard about that went around, but I never saw them. I only saw 1 or 2 fights. One of them was a cat fight.
Yeah.
And I think that happened around that time that they called me in. They're like, "Hey, did you record that fight?" I'm like, "I don't know."
Did I record what? What's a fight? Oh, I thought that was just wrestling.
Oh man,
that's a good question.
Heads were bashing into people's lockers. Let me tell you.
I remember this guy Edwin literally bashing some guy's head into the floor.
Like
Kicking him into the floor.
I heard this dude Sam that was in my grade was smashing his kid's head into like a bathroom stall. Like they were in the bathroom and they fought in the bathroom. Apparently he just took
There
his head
always
and
used to be
slammed
slap boxing in the stalls.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I won't say in the stalls, but in the bathrooms.
In general, yeah.
Always.
Because it's it's out of the hallways. And all,
Yeah. Good question.
Stupid shit. High school.
Yeah, I know. Really.
I never want to go back to high school.
For real.
People say, I remember when people were like, "Oh, you'll meet your best friends in high school," or like, "Oh, you'll have the best time of your life in high school." No, you fucking won't.
No, you won't.
No, you won't.
Agreed.
Next question, number 4.
4?
Number 4. If you were a dog, would you enjoy the treats that you give your dog now? What are the treats?
So
I probably would. Usually it's like the pepperoni sticks. If I was a dog, I'd probably enjoy that.
So I mean, like, we give Bentley like bacon.
Yeah,
like the
it's
bacon
literally,
bits,
it's literally
stripe,
bacon bits.
strips.
Yeah, it's
stuff.
It's thick pieces of
Yeah.
of big. Hell yeah!
I mean, I feel like I would love that.
Absolutely. No wonder it's
Bacon,
like,
bacon bites.
It's like freaking catnip for clowns.
That's good.
I
Good
would
question.
absolutely say yes to that.
I
absolutely
agree.
enjoy doggy
Agree.
treats as a dog.
And I mean, like,
The ones that I get.
and I mean, we give Bentley like, I would guess dehydrated chicken hearts, and like, I mean, it's chicken.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, he would. I mean, like, he loves it. Yeah. I would love it, most likely.
It's just weird to like. It's a heart though.
Yeah.
Would you ever eat an animal's heart?
No. As a human. As a human being?
Yes, as a human being.
Hell no.
I wouldn't either. No.
I'm not starting the apocalypse. But hey.
That could be another apocalyptic situation question. If you had to eat a heart, would you eat it?
Yeah.
Of course you would have to. But would it be like it is the question. Is heart actually good?
Are we talking like raw heart?
No, you would cook it.
Okay. So are we talking like seasoning?
I mean, yeah, but what would you season it with? Like, you know what I mean? Because technically, heart's a muscle. We eat animals' muscles.
I know.
So like.
So, okay. I want answers in the chat. Tell me how you would season heart.
How would you prepare
in an apocalyptic situation?
In an apocalyptic situation. I guess you just find whatever you could find for spices and use it.
Some turmeric, some paprikas, some Danos.
For some reason, I'm actually very interested in that. It's bad. I shouldn't be thinking about that. Good question, though, that was prior.
All right. Question number 5. Would you be able to stay the night in a known haunted house for an entire night if you were given $10K? Why or why not? I would.
And the reason why is because you never know. It could be a silent night that night.
Well, I mean, like...
The spirit actually could be okay with you.
I mean, like, not only, like... I'm extremely, like, scared of the paranormal, right? But, like... I'm extremely thoughtful for the paranormal. Mm-hmm. Like, there was in my uncle's old place in the village, it was, like, known haunted. The past owner had died in the house, and, like, her name was Rose, and she, like, I felt her when I was a kid, tucking me in at night, shutting off lights and stuff. I mean, it was, like shutting on and off lights. Sometimes Rose would be a little bit of a disturbance, but most of the time it was very good as long as they were respectful, and weren't drastically changing the house. But I would definitely do it because I'm gonna get paid to. And
$10,000, hell yeah!
I'll just
for one night.
I mean,
just one night.
I'm probably just gonna pound like 5 melatonin,
right?
And just pass the fuck out.
That's, you know what? That is a good strategy. Pass out. I will make sure.
I won't wake up. I'm gonna try to make sure I don't wake up for nothing. Literally.
Good question.
So yes, I would.
Yes. I would too, and that's why we would do it.
Yeah,
too.
I mean, obviously, right?
All right, question number. I forget what number.
6.
6. There you go. Many people find prolonged direct eye contact uncomfortable. How long can you make direct eye contact with each other before it is weird? Go. He's losing it. He's losing it. Probably like that. A good 30 seconds.
Yeah. Well, I would say, I would say a stranger. I would say a stranger. I would say a stranger. Like a second and a half.
Yeah, maybe like.
Maybe
three,
two. Maybe 2
seconds.
tops.
3 seconds for me.
I'm saying for myself, 2 tops.
Because, like, after 3 seconds, I'll be like, what are you doing? That's when we get weird. I'll have to, like, address, like, why you
Guys!
Shit.
2 friends sitting in a room.
2 bros chilling in a hot tub.
5 feet apart. I mean, hey, good question.
Good, yeah.
Good question. My friends...
We basically just, like,
Yeah.
physically gave you a demonstration on how that would go. And that's
quite
exactly
literally.
how it would go. So there you go.
I mean,
Good question.
I got 2 blues. Nice.
Oh.
So,
I basically
my
took all the purples.
next question. This is going to be question number 7.
I don't even know what the colors mean.
Do you think that rugby will become more popular as rules change to the NFL? Restrict more contact in the game. Restricts more contact in the game.
So, like, I mean, the reason why I would think that she'd be thinking rugby would be more popular because it's similar to football.
Yes, it's just basically without pads.
It's basically without pads, and the rules are obviously different. You had to lateral it, and the scoring system is different. I don't think so, though.
I agree. I don't think it will. I think the NFL is way too popular, and especially because, you know, it's almost like the American way is to root for something, right? I mean, and especially, you know, with all these teams in all these different areas, especially for, you know, states that have only one major sports team. I definitely think that, you know, football is just way too popular.
Mm-hmm. And, like, I don't know, like, for Americans, like, rugby is just a harder sport to comprehend.
Yes.
And
I would definitely agree with that.
We wouldn't have the attention span to try to learn it.
I would
unless you
absolutely agree with
really
that.
wanted to.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no. I don't think so.
All right, good question.
Question number 8. What is your go-to conversation starters? I'm usually terrible at starting conversations most of the time.
Me and him don't know each other, okay? You're at a bar. Coming up to you. Hey, man. How much does a polar bear weigh? Don't know?
Don't know?
Enough to break the ice. My name's Anthony.
That is fan-fucking-tastic. Oh, man.
That was the pickup line that I used to use to girls, you know, back in the day.
Wow, that is fantastic. I would never have thought of that. I don't. I usually just say, like, hey, what's up? And depending on the situation, talk about the situation. That's it.
I mean, like, the one I use most often is definitely, hey, how are you? Or, hey, how you doing?
Yeah. And most of the time, like, I'll start a conversation, not, like, with full intent. It will just happen.
Yeah.
And I'm usually good at that.
Yeah.
But, like, when I'm like, oh, I really want to talk to this person really quick, what the fuck do I say? Like, you know.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
it
I don't
kinda
know.
turns to that.
I really don't even know what the hell else to say besides hi or hey.
Yeah,
how you
yeah.
doing?
Like, usually, like for like, I would say like baseball. Like, whenever I'm meeting it, like if I'm like on a new team and I'm meeting a new friend for the first time, like, well, I'll end up like saying something about the game or whatever, and then either like, or they'll say something about the game.
Yeah.
Either I will agree with it or they will agree with it, and then we kind of just build up on that.
Yeah.
And then we make each other laugh. We start joking around, and then
Yeah, and then the conversation just keeps on going.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. But that is by far my favorite one to use, especially if I don't know the person. Like that is my favorite one to use.
Wow. Good. Good. You're good. You're good.
Stop.
You're good. You're good. You're good.
Shucks, man. All right. My last question. Question number 9.
9.
The U.S. has admitted to alien existence and encounters. What do you think these aliens might look like?
Oh God, I don't. They can look like anything.
So, I
Anything.
think that they're just from what I've heard, like on from different people say on encounters, the one that's kind of made the most sense is almost like a tannish red, like sand color. I don't, almost like almost like a granite kind of color.
Okay.
And I would say slick to touch, like weird and very, I would say probably skinny, a little bit bigger of a head than ours. I don't think by much. And then I would probably expect some kind of like lineage on their head or some type of, I don't even know, bone structure or whatever on their head. And that kind of just discriminate. I don't want to say discriminate, but that associates like what race they are, or whatever. I don't know.
Interesting. Like I kind of like chalk it up to as like, well, if you look at like all the species here on Earth, none of us look the same. Some of us look similar, but everyone looks different in their sort of way, depending on where they're inhabited. But I would say, like, since, like, it could be, like, the fact that, like, it's just, they're a part of the vast of darkness of space, I would say, like, the only thing I could think of or identify what they may look like is probably dark in color, probably close to black. You know what I mean? Because, like, it just depends on, like, what planet they are on, if, like, it's... Because, like... And also, I would like to think that, like, the only way aliens could exist if they're from a planet like us, where living organisms could actually live and breathe and eat and drink, whatever. Like, it has to be an inhabitant planet like it is on Earth. And there are other planets, like that out there that we have discovered. And I'm almost positive there are alien life forms on those planets.
I would
whether
definitely,
big or small.
So I've heard
micro or macro, like, you know what I mean?
Neil deGrasse Tyson, the astrologist. He had done a podcast with a sit down of another astrologist, and he had asked, how much of space have we actually explored? And she said, think of the ocean. A glass. You dunk it into the water and you pull it out. The entire ocean of Earth. A single cupful. In retrospect to space. Which is insane. We've explored like a micro section in space. There's thousands upon thousands upon thousands of galaxies out there. there has to be.
There's just
similar.
no way that there isn't any other life forms
there
out there.
has
There's no
to
way
be
that there
something similar.
There has to be. There has to be. It may not be exactly the same.
Because,
it may be
I mean,
exactly the same.
The structure of every solar system is practically the same as ours.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's in that kind of shape.
Yeah, and I would also like to think that there are other species of living life forms out in space
I would like to think
that
so.
have actually made contact with others.
I would like to think so as well. I honestly would like to think that there has been like some kind of alien contact, you know,
That has been transported
Here.
and submitted here as well. Yeah,
like
that
I
we
wouldn't
just
doubt
don't
it.
we just don't understand
Exactly.
because we don't
the
we don't
adequate amount of
communicate the way they do.
technology,
Yeah,
or
we don't have the
I
technology
wouldn't doubt
to
if
be able to
there's
decode it.
people, you know, because I mean, how far could you advance technology? Endless, right? And I mean, you could probably have a telescope on a ship out in space that can zoom in like the Hubble, right? And I mean, you can monitor things on the planet from a incredibly far distance, and they could not be detected. I mean, I can't believe that there's nothing out there.
Yeah, I can't believe that there isn't anything more. There's more.
Yeah,
There has to
100%.
be. Has to be more.
Well, down to our last question. Question number 10.
Would you rather have everyone be able to read your thoughts, or for everyone you know to have access to your internet history?
Oh my. Read the first one again.
Would you rather have everyone be able to read your thoughts, or everyone to be able to access your
Oh
online
my
history?
god. That is awful.
Both are bad.
That is terrible. I'm gonna go ahead and choose the old classic one. Or there is no way I could choose between those.
Oh my god. Oh shit.
My inner monologue on its own is a scary place.
No, same.
And so is my search history.
I think too much, for me.
Seriously.
Someone to,
Agreed.
and I think about way too many different things.
Agreed.
Bad or good, you know what I mean?
Seriously. There's no chance. I would have to go with the internet history.
I would too.
If
I
I
don't-
literally had to choose.
Yeah, if I literally had to choose, because I honestly don't think that I have searched worse than what I thought.
Exactly.
I don't believe
I
that.
guarantee I would offend way too many people.
Mm-hmm.
Way too many.
Mm-hmm.
Way too many.
I agree.
Well, that's a good question.
Very good question. It's hard. That's a hard one. It's a hard one to pick one or the other, but
Golly, gosh darn. Well, we're on the question 11, which stands for you. This one is for the audience, so get them typing Twitter fingers ready. Question 11. Movie pitch. What is a movie you would like to be made?
What is a movie you would like to be made? Now, is it like something that exists or something that you're just gonna make up,
Honestly,
or both?
both. Maybe it's a book. Maybe it's a real life occurrence. Maybe it's whatever.
Oh, I don't know why I just thought of this. I don't know if it's ever been made, like a documentary. But it'd be cool to see a movie of the development of I forget his first name. I know his last name, but I want to say his first name. Hold on. I know the first name, but I don't remember. Jim Abbott,
Ah,
the one-armed wonder. How the hell did he get to the major leagues with one freaking arm?
honestly, I dig that.
I would a full movie, not a documentary, a movie. I
dig
would
that,
love
honestly.
to have a development of how Jim Abbott made it to the MLB and threw a no-hitter with one arm. Wouldn't that be sick?
That would be.
I would absolutely
So
watch the
I
hell
guess
out of that.
so. I'm gonna go ahead and read a couple from chat here. We got Legend of Zelda, Kingdom Hearts,
That would be those two would be
Gears
I
of
would watch
War.
those. Gears of War,
I would say personally, I would love a movie.
Is there a movie about Jim Abbott?
What was the movie where the guy went over to India and brought over two pitchers, and had them like scouted and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a movie like that. I would love a movie like that based on Japan, where a scout, like this, not necessarily, a certain player, but most likely a fictional story, and guy goes overseas or a woman goes overseas and scouts some teams and the JPL, right? And maybe they find this guy who's insane, or whatever. He's really good.
Now,
But-
there is a Jim Abbott movie. It is called Set Apart: The Jim Abbott Story. I would say not something like that though, because it looks more like a documentary than it's a TV movie. I'm talking about like with actors and like pre and post production, like nothing to do, like Jim Abbott's not there. It's literally just actors portraying him with one arm, and
Honestly.
and developing him as a child, like showing a child Jim Abbott loving baseball and wanting to play it with one arm, to an adult or however, because I never actually knew like if he actually like had been amputated or whatever, or if he was just born with one arm. I don't know, but I would like just
Dude.
it's a Fox movie. Like
Now-
no, I want to see like a legit like Warner Brothers or like
Honestly, man,
a
going
real
going the
movie.
sports route. I mean, I'm
That's what I
sure
want.
there's probably documentaries out there, but I would love like an actors, film.
Yeah, like the Jackie Robinson, like 42.
Yes,
like Jim
exactly
Abbott,
like that.
That's what I'm thinking of for a Jim Abbott.
Exactly.
Not
But
like a-
I would want
what
something
Fox
like
did.
that as well. But for someone like Barry Sanders or Jim Brown, like I mean, those guys were insane. Like back and like, it's been so long at this point, and I mean Barry Sanders is he's like known as the Walter Payton. I mean, guys like that. Because there's been enough quarterbacked ones. Oh Jesus! I just read something sports wise that's gonna piss me off. But I mean, there's been enough quarterback films like the Kurt Warner story. I believe that there's been one or two more as well, but I would love like focusing on a skills position player, like film, or maybe even somebody on defense who just absolutely lays people out. Maybe a Ray Lewis life film, right? But I feel like something like that would be awesome. Yes, and from chat, breaking news: cornerback for the Indianapolis Colts, Isaiah Rodgers, under investigation for betting. I'm assuming it's probably on Indianapolis grounds. I really hope that he wasn't betting on football, but he now is our second best corner. And if he gets suspended, we're going to get thrown all over. So that's aggravating. Yeah, I mean, similar to a movie like A Waterboy, but for like Ray Lewis. Honestly.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. But hey, some good answers in chat.
Yeah, and like I don't know, like what other video games you think this should be made into a movie? I mean, obviously it's happening now, and we're gonna see it in October. But I would wanted to see FNAF as a movie, and I knew that they were going to do it, but I, hope that it would be something like this where it's a better production, compared to just throwing out like what they were going to do is they were going to throw out a bunch of movies early and quick, and they were going to be awful, and they were going to be awful.
I got two. The actors who played in the game. GTA 5. The movie.
Yeah.
I would love that. And I mean, Ghost of Tsushima.
Ghost of Tsushima would be cool. I also wish that Assassin's Creed was better.
I 100% agree.
Was terrible.
I 100% agree.
I wish stories are great.
I wish the Ezio storyline, the Brotherhood storyline. I wish they were to make that into an actual movie.
Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Like the Black Ops.
Yeah.
Campaigns.
The first Black Ops.
First
campaign,
Black Ops and the second one.
And the second one
were
combined.
Great. I remember watching my brother play those. They were fucking phenomenal.
Can you imagine if they made one and two, just Black Ops?
Yeah.
But I mean, it involved the first and
literally,
second storyline.
It's just the story, but with real actors now. You know what I mean?
No, reports are saying he's betting on the Colts.
That's not good.
Oh!
Well, Ashley says she wants to see a veteran who starts a business and yells at employees like he did in the military, but TV styled like The Office.
That would be fun. That would be hilarious. Honestly, that would be hilarious. That would be hilarious.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
That would be fun.
But hey, great questions, and thank you for participating in Ashley's outrageously random questions. But now we get to the nitty freaking gritty.
Right foot, free foot.
This week and now we will be doing Rank This Harry Potter edition. What? If you're new here, this is Rank This. We have 5 categories where we rank something, and this time, Harry Potter characters. We will be ranking them in 5 different categories. Murph, would you please explain to the audience our question? I mean, not questions, categories.
Our ranking system and
Yes.
our categories that we have. Well, we'll start from the top, as we usually do.
Absolutely.
From the top, from the button. We'll start from the top here, as we normally do, and we'll talk about our best number 1 category that you want to be in. And that is perfect. It's perfect, okay?
Self-explanatory, people.
Self-explanatory. Next one. Straight gas. What does straight gas mean? It's great, but not perfect, but it's great.
It's close.
It's close.
But it's
very
just
close
not
to perfect.
there.
You really, really appreciate it, but not as much. Not as much. Third category. Right in the middle. Just right. Another self-explanatory category. It's just right.
It is the perfect category for the people that go into it.
It's good. Just right.
Middle of the road.
Middle of the road. You have no complaints about it.
Exactly.
But it's not the greatest thing in the world.
Yes.
You have no complaint. You cannot complain. Next, not terrible.
Now this is where we take a little bit of a dip.
We'll take a little bit of a dip underneath just right, as if there's more negative to positive than, to each other for this specific whatever we're talking about.
Yeah.
But it's not that bad. But it's not good enough for us to care really much about it.
Yeah.
That much.
Agreed.
No, it's something that it could be better, but it's not that bad. And then the last category, that's the one you do not want to be in, and that is that's ass.
I'm telling you, this is the worst category among all.
This is doo. It's dog. It's full of dog shit.
Literally. literally dog shit.
Yeah, you don't want to be in there at all.
Yeah, there's going to be multiple in this category as we go through this. But I don't think a terrible amount.
Yeah, we're probably gonna base this off of the fact that we just like the characters in general.
Yes.
Obviously, kudos to the actors. They all did a fantastic job. Don't hate the character, or don't hate the actor, hate the character.
Yes.
That's what we're going for here.
Exactly.
So it's gonna be based on how much we liked or disliked the character in general. If we think he was a douchebag, or if we think he was a saint.
Yes.
He or she. First on this list is Mad-Eye Moody.
Now, this one I could put in perfect, but because a certain character was playing as him in his first appearance, I can't put him in where I want to.
Exactly. Because we never really knew. I mean, obviously in the books he's explained more, but like in the movies, you don't really get Mad-Eye Moody enough.
You get a bit here and there in movies, but you get the most of them in
the Goblet of Fire,
and he wasn't Mad-Eye
Moody. He was somebody that transformed himself to look like Mad-Eye Moody and speak like him.
Although Mad-Eye Moody is straight gas.
He is straight gas. I'll agree.
100%.
He's a great. He's like
yes.
himself. Mad-Eye Moody is a very great character and treats Harry very well.
Honestly,
and everybody else. He can be a dick sometimes, but
yes.
we relate.
Yes, we relate.
Dumbledore.
And honestly, I would get a lot of flack on this because of his story, but I think Dumbledore is perfect.
I agree. I honestly thought you were gonna put him in straight gas.
No,
I can honestly see why
for
you
the
could
people,
put him in straight gas, but
for the people who have read the books, I have not. I know knowledge of the books, but I base my liking off the movies. And I'm sorry, but Dumbledore was played perfectly. His puns and his one-liners and just honestly his wisdom was fantastic. It was so well played.
I agree. Next, Filch.
Honestly,
not terrible.
Not terrible.
Not terrible. He was funny. Like sometimes he could be funny, but a dick, but not enough to be ass.
Yeah.
Next,
Papa Weasley.
Papa Weasley.
Arthur. Honestly, just right.
Just right.
Just right.
He's a good father to Ron, and a good caretaker for whenever Harry would be over.
But I'm gonna leave this next one to you,
Barty Crouch Jr.
Honestly, just right.
Yeah. Oh, not.
I think he was played just right.
Yeah. Yeah, and the character, obviously, the character itself was very interesting.
Yes.
Death Eater.
Yes.
So, just right. I give it the same too.
And his father, Barty Crouch. Not terrible. I honestly didn't really care for him.
Same. I mean, he would obviously with most characters seeing Harry Potter, they're very nice to him, but him himself is just,
Yeah, agreed.
He's okay.
Bellatrix Lestrange. Throw her next to Dumbledore. This is probably
such a good freaking villain.
The best casting in the show.
The best casting. It is such a
honestly. There's gonna be another one where we absolutely no hesitation throw up there, but Bellatrix was amazing. She was great.
I agree.
The older brother. Bill.
That's Bill. Is it Bill Weasley?
It might not be Bill. I'm trying to think.
I don't remember. Is it Bill? Because he has another brother that has never been seen in the movies.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. It's not Fred. It's not George. He's the dragon tamer, right?
Maybe. I think so. Yeah, because that's why he's got the scars on his face.
Yeah.
But he worked at Green Got's bank, or the yeah, isn't it?
Charlie.
Charlie Weasley.
And honestly, not terrible.
Yeah, I mean, you don't really get much of him in this
Yeah.
story. You know, in the books you do.
Yeah.
They do really. They'd add him in the books, and he's a pretty cool character in the books. But in the movies, he's not terrible.
Cedric
I think that's Cedric Diggory.
Diggory. Honestly, just right.
Yeah, just right.
Just right.
He's, like the perfect Hufflepuff
Yeah.
like representation and what
Yeah.
Hufflepuff represents.
Yeah.
You know,
Literally.
very he's very loyal to others and just a nice guy.
Yeah.
Just a nice guy.
Literally.
Next, it's Joe, right?
Joe. Get a little bit of flack here. That's ass.
That's ass. Okay, I could put her not
I'm
terrible.
sorry, but Cedric, what happened to Cedric is, what happened to Cedric. But how you gonna go and switch up to Harry that quick, huh? After your man's just died.
Yeah, true. Yeah, she's kind of a terrible person for doing that.
Like, come on. I don't care if there's mistletoe.
You should have went to Harry in the first place.
For real.
I mean, Cedric, cool guy, but like,
For real.
you shouldn't have done Harry like that. Just because your boyfriend's dead.
This is the newspaper kid.
Yeah. I forget his name. I remember hearing his name, but I don't remember.
I mean, not terrible,
terrible.
Then we didn't really get a lot of them,
Yeah,
so
he was a nice comedic relief.
He was one of the people that got petrified.
He was one of the people that got petrified, but when he was, not petrified, he was a comedic relief in the movies.
Yeah.
So, not terrible. I don't remember this guy's name.
He was the guy in the Half-Blood Prince.
Trying to go after Hermione.
Yes. And this guy as well is that's ass. He tried to weasel his way into Hermione.
Yeah, he's a
and he kind of talked mean. So, yes.
Next. Fudge.
Fudge
That's ass.
is like doo-doo.
Like doo-doo, eat fudge.
Exactly. Everyone can't stop talking about fudge.
No one likes to ever talk about this fudge.
No. And I'm not going to be able to remember his name.
I don't eat.
But, just right. I honestly didn't mind him. I had nothing bad to complain about him.
Okay. Gryffindor, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
Gryffindor. And Dobby!
Master has given Dobby a sock.
Dobby is free. Perfect. 100%. He's one of the best in the entire thing, so nothing but love for Dobby. And we're gonna get right back to the bottomest category of them all. Dolores Umbridge, no hesitation. That's it.
I was almost about to put her immediately in there as soon as I saw her on this list in general, before we even started today.
Draco Malfoy.
Draco Malfoy.
I personally think he is a straight gas character.
Okay, yeah.
He was a good person to hate on.
Good person to hate on, but as you know, if you've seen the movies or the book, at the end of them, he actually shows respect towards Harry.
Yes.
And even, helps out Harry a lot.
Yeah.
Because he starts to turn a new leaf.
I don't think he could be perfect.
No.
Because of that villain aspect.
Yeah. Because of him being a dick when he was a kid. But
I would definitely say he is a straight gas actor, yeah.
And also just a victim of circumstance for him not to be imperfect.
Yes. Really? So I think
I only think of him when he looked like that, though. That's the problem. But towards the end, he's like Malfoy, where he's like, I don't think you're a waste of space.
Yeah. So as he had gotten older, I had started to like him more, especially after
I could
Harry had saved him
Yeah.
from the Dementors.
Yeah. I could put him in not terrible if you want, or even
I would say not terrible.
Okay.
And I think the retribution of him saying to
know what? Yeah, you
his
know what?
father, I don't think you're a waste of space.
I agree. You know what? Forget I even put him down that's ass. I completely forgot his character arc and development. He was the same thing. It's basically I would be a hypocrite if I put him in dad's ass just because of the fact that he was like Malfoy, where he was a dick to him when he was a kid, but as he got older, he turned a new leaf.
Yes.
I agree. But like not as good as Draco.
No.
Not as good as Draco. Next,
The music teacher.
Music teacher. Yeah, he was funny.
Yeah, just right.
Just right.
Wingardium Leviosa.
Swish and flick.
Swish and flicker. That's my favorite. Fleur de la Fleur.
Fleur de la Fleur.
I would go again and say they're just right.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I mean, I'd say not terrible, just because like she really like didn't do anything.
That is true. I mean, I think of at least when I think of her like being bad in the Goblet of Fire Triwizard Tournament, but I also remember her, stepping up and taking part of Harry transporting from the Dudleys to the Weasleys.
Mm-hmm.
I believe she was the one that transformed into Harry as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, like I could go ahead and say not terrible, but I think like that's probably the only retribution I have for her.
Okay. We'll do it then. That's right.
Now, Fred and George.
I already know where I'm putting these guys.
Yes, and you go ahead and throw them up there. They were perfectly played.
God, they're
After Order of the Phoenix, I
great.
loved them to death.
Well, even during the Order of Phoenix. They were,
I mean, the end of Order of the Phoenix, was like my favorite thing that they've done.
Even in Prisoner of Azkaban, when they gave Harry the map.
Yeah. Absolutely.
What was the map? Fuck. What was it called? Damn it.
Mischief.
The opening
Marauders
was
map.
The Marauders map. Yeah, them giving him the Marauders map made me. That's when I was like, oh, they're cool.
All right, we're getting some main characters here.
Ginny Weasley.
Honestly, straight gas. And
Okay.
I could put her in just right, but she isn't played just right. She is sassier in the books. She bosses around her brothers in the books.
Yeah.
It's not portrayed in the movies.
No. She's very like shy and timid in the movies, and she's not like that in the books.
Yeah, but I do appreciate her role and everything. So I do think she's straight gas.
Yeah.
All right, the man, obviously, Half-Blood Prince, you were able to tell when he was completely drunk, on set, but he was perfect.
Potter. He was Harry Potter.
You put him at the top of the list. He was Harry damn Potter.
I mean, I don't know anybody else that could play Harry Potter.
I know.
Obviously, we're gonna find that out with the TV series.
Yes,
But
we are. Yeah.
next,
Hedwig.
Hedwig.
Honestly, just right.
Yeah, that's right. He was Harry's out.
Yes.
Harry's out, and he tried to save him in the last book, but ended up getting killed by a Death Eater.
Yes.
Which ultimately, unintentionally, signaled Harry to Voldemort
Yes.
in that time.
Yes.
Which was not good. But Hedwig was just trying to protect his owner.
Hermione.
Hermione.
Perfect.
Perfect. Yeah.
And I honestly expect the character in the show to be the same thing.
Absolutely. Horse Slughorn.
Yes, Slughorn. Honestly,
I think he's just right.
just right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I would absolutely. If he was my teacher, I would love him.
Yeah.
He'd be awesome. To be honest with you.
I'm not gonna remember his name.
Yeah.
But he was
Igor Kakarov. Igor Kakarov. That's his name.
not terrible. Right.
Yeah, not terrible.
Like he wasn't ass.
Yeah, no.
So.
But like, whatever.
James
Potter.
Honestly, not terrible.
Yeah.
He was kind of an ass.
He was kind of an asshole.
So yeah,
I agree. You know, he was kind of a dick. Not what Harry is. Not even close. He's not even close to his father. Not even close. But like I would say personality wise, Harry is more towards Lily, and representing what presentation or represent like the popularity aspect was his father.
Yeah.
The fact that he's like the most popular person in the Wizarding world in general. That's that in general. And you're thinking of who the hell is this?
I can't really remember.
This was she liked Ron.
Yes.
For a while, and then they dated each other. She was kind of crazy.
She was.
She was kind of crazy, I don't. Like I really don't. I guess not terrible.
I don't think she was absolutely terrible.
Mm-hmm.
But she was kind of annoying.
Mm-hmm.
So not terrible.
Not terrible. Now, would you? Since we've gone already through a bunch of these already,
we went basically halfway through.
Right?
Do you want to turn this into a 2-part?
I think so. Honestly, guys, I think this is a good stopping point.
I agree.
Because we
got some good ones coming up.
We've got some good ones coming up. We're getting to a very great set of characters.
Yes.
Not saying that these aren't, but
yeah. We're getting to a real good set of characters.
I think that's a good idea. We should have this be a 2-parter. We should save this for next week.
Sounds good.
Absolutely. And we'll look at what we have here real quick.
Yes. Let's start from the bottom, eh?
We'll start from the bottom.
The very bottom, the very worst, Dolores Umbridge.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have Fudge. And then
that guy that was
Hermione, heroine,
the Hermione harasser.
Yes. Cho, terrible.
Yeah, what she did to her.
Girlfriend, nah.
Who cares?
Mr. Potter, James.
He was kind of a dick. He was kind of a
dick. The Vlad
Igor,
guy. Igor, yeah, nah.
Okay.
Dudley,
maybe
a controversial take, but hey, that's just right for him.
He's not ass. He's not ass.
Not at all.
Whatsoever, especially later. The photography boy.
Yes. Yep.
He's okay. Charlie Weasley was not explored much in the movies at all. Not compared to the books. So we're gonna put him there. We're basing it off the movies.
Yes. Barty Crouch,
the same.
Yeah.
He's just there.
He's just there.
And Filch, same thing. He's just there. He's kind of there just for comedic relief as well.
Yes.
Just right. Poor Slughorn.
Yep.
I appreciated him.
Fair.
Hedwig, I also appreciated him.
Yep.
Fleur de la Fleur.
Yep. Music and Flick and
Swish and
Flicker. That's my favorite. The Gryffindor boy.
Gryffindor boy. We forget his name.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look up his name after this.
We'll
Cedric.
Cedric Diggory. Again, like too soon. Kind of.
The next one.
Barty Crouch Jr. Just right as well. Very good leader. Very good villain.
Yes.
And we had Mr. Weasley.
Arthur.
Arthur Weasley.
Honestly, yeah, just right.
Yep, he's a nice guy.
Then we got some big characters here. We got Ginny. Mm-hmm. Ginny Weasley, and Draco Malfoy, and Mad-Eye Moody. Who I really hope we get a lot of in the show.
That'd be cool.
I really hope we get a lot of him.
Cool, man.
And then we got the cream of the crop.
The creme de la creme.
We have Hermione.
Hermione Granger. The man himself.
Harry Potter. Harry Potter. Yeah. The twins, Fred and George. Dobby. Bellatrix Lestrange, and
Dumbledore.
Well, let's pose for the camera as we cut our episode here for Rank This. And scene. Well, folks, I appreciate all y'all coming by today. You know, it was a fun episode. Just, highlight of my week. I hope you all have a good rest of your week, and I hope that you can continue to shine. And always remember, you are loved. If you need to reach out, you can reach out.
Absolutely.
We are here. If you need to talk to somebody, reach out. There's way too many. Way too many. Well, any final words, man?
4 months in, something that we've always wanted to do for the longest time, and it's going good, and it's only going to be going up from here. Thank you all for joining us every single Monday.
Absolutely, thank you very much. There's no literal real words to say to thank you guys, because this isn't possible without you guys. Quite literally. Because we'd have no one to go and talk to besides ourselves. But we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. And if you don't mind, you better stay good.